Hi guys, I was planning on making some videos over the last week, but last week we had a garage sale or a craft sale at Mom's house, and preparing for it, if any of you have ever done that, you know how much preparation work can go into it. And then working it 3 days, and it was 3 hot sunny days with just a little sprinkling of rain on the Sunday. Just a couple of times it just sprinkled a bit. So last week was a wash. I normally can't sleep much and don't sleep much, but I was so tired with the fatigue that I was sleeping probably 16 hours of the day, but in like 2-hour bursts. So I'd get up for breakfast, and after breakfast I'd have to lay down and I'd fall asleep till lunchtime and have lunch, nap just after lunch, and be up a little bit in the afternoon for supper. Sometimes I'd have to lay down before supper, and just no energy. It just that's the unfortunate part of the fatigue from the MS, that if it accumulates too much, or if you run yourself down, that's what you end up with, is you run yourself into a hole that's hard to get out of. So I'm doing what I need to do, and making sure I'm taking all my meds and vitamins and coming out of the other end, but it's going to be a slow process, likely going to take another week or two to get really back to where I want to be. But I'm at the new house. It's going to be Mom's old house. Hard to see. It's there you go. And Amber and I will be moving in here in coming months, and then we're going to, what the hell did I do there? Scared you. Scared me. And we've got a lot of stuff to do at the old house to get it ready to sell, and until we have it ready, Kyle's going to live there anyway, so, and we'll let it go from there. But I thought I'd give you an update. You guys had been asking for it after my video about my fixing the handle on my razor, and when I had put it together, the wood cracked, and it's just when I was peening over the pin, just wanting to get that extra little bit of tightness to it, I hit it 1 or 2 times too many, and I didn't need a lot of flare in it because it's in the wood and it was tight. So I cracked the wood, and I was kind of discouraged, and then I came back a week later and carefully opened up the crack and put some Gorilla Glue in it, and closed it up and clamped it really tight, and I left it. It's been sitting probably 2 or 3 weeks down, a couple of weeks in the basement at the house here, curing. And then last night, which was yesterday, today is Tuesday. Last night I was in town dealing with some paperwork with my sister Val relating to the estate, and brought AJ in because he's borrowing Mom's car for a few days because he has to do some major work on one of his cars, and his other car needs a clutch. So long story short, by the time I finished at Val's, it was late, and rather than driving 45 minutes home, I thought I'd just swing, 2-minute drive from her house to Mom's house. And I just spent the night here. And even if I couldn't stay in the house, the camper's right there, so. Had a bed, regardless whether we had the furniture still in it or if we'd emptied it all out. We had a place to sleep, or I did. Amber stayed home. She had to work today. But I did finish the knife, except for oiling the wood, which I think is likely going to be the best solution. So here it is. You'll just have to bear with me for a sec while I switch my hand around. Get a little dust off of it too, so this might not be the best surface to show it on, but there it is. It's done. You can still see the crack there, but I've got it all filed down, or sanded down. You can't take the garage out of the guy. You can take the guy out of the garage. So I got it. Oh, looks like I missed a spot right there. Just has a little. It's not rounded off as much as the rest of it is. But when I wet that, it'll show. It'll show what the wood grain is going to look like. I don't have any water with me, or I do that. But, turned out nice. So, you know. Sanded in between the best I could, and it's not absolutely laser straight, but it's a razor. It's not trying to win any awards. It's trying to be functional. Guess I forgot to dry it off a couple of times. Coming back again, so I'll have to get the buffing wheel out again. So this was made by the Wyss company, Wyss and Sons, J. Wyss and Sons, Newark, New Jersey, and I have no idea how old it is because it was my grandfather's, and my grandfather died in 1946. And now I can go back to shaving. So it was kind of nice working with wood again for a change. I used to like doing that. And then, you know, plus cars. I don't split myself too thin. You know, I have far too many hobbies that I've got to trim down when we move back here. You know, I have all the cars, collections too. You know, I have my die-cast collection, which includes my 2,000 or so Hot Wheels, most of which are still in the package. I used to collect shot glasses. Being a mechanic, I was always getting free ball caps, so I have a whole bunch of ball caps that, you know, you have your favorites so you don't wear the rest. Frisbees. I collected Frisbees when I was a kid, and I haven't pulled them out for years, but I wouldn't doubt I have some in there that might be a little on the rare side now. I know I have one that's shaped like a lifesaver. It might be worth, you know, $5 or $10 today. What else have I got? I got an old beer bottle collection. That's going to go. The hats are going to go. I'm going to get rid of all of my shop manuals because I used to have boxes. Well, the shelf I had in the garage for my shop manuals was 12 feet long. And I couldn't fit all those shop manuals on 12 feet of shelving. So I had a lot of shop manuals. And, you know, when I slowed down working with cars, you know, when I was working actively as a mechanic and doing work on people's cars, it came in handy because it might not be the exact model, but it might have torque specs in it or information on how to disassemble things, like how Ford does a certain thing or Chrysler or that. So I'm going to likely pull those all out and start throwing them on eBay for see if I can make a couple bucks off of them. Shot glasses, some of them mean something to me, a lot of them don't, so I'll keep the good ones and sell off the rest. I used to, even as a teenager, I stopped doing the model airplanes where you'd, you know, flying control line, and I didn't get into the radio controlled, and I was going to, but then I just stopped flying them for a couple of years and got diverted to girls and cars, I guess. So now I got to do something with all the cars. Trying to figure out which ones I'm going to keep and which ones are going to go. And quite often I would buy a car for parts and then I just keep the whole car because it's an effective way of storing the parts. You know, it's all in a neat assembled package. But I have far too many cars for here. You know, far too many toys. You know, I got 3 in the backyard, 2 in the garage, so that's 5. Then I got 2 in the portable, 1 in the driveway, the van, and the motorhome. So 10 vehicles. And I don't even count the 1970 Honda mini bike that's been sitting in the shed for years. I still think I can work like I'm 20 and healthy, 30 and healthy, 40 and healthy. I'm not 20, 30, or 40, and I'm not healthy, so kind of the story of anyone with a chronic illness is you don't want to admit that you can't do what you used to do. And I'm a dreamer, but I'm also a bit of a realist, and the realist in me has to take over here, and I have to get off my ass and clear out what I got going and concentrate on 1 or 2 things. So I'm going to keep 1 or 2 cars that I can fiddle with, but then I'm also going to dig out my model railroad, which has been in storage since I was a teenager, plus the stuff I got from my father-in-law, because he was model railroading as well, all HO gauge, so it'll be the same as Greg Porter's dad and Shade Tree Fix-It Man and a couple others who are model railroaders. Have lots of rolling stock, lots of power units, but only a 4x8 foot table of track right now, and with this basement I can do more. So anyway, I'll let you go. Iceman 22 ST, bidding you a good day, take it easy, and have a good one.